It's good to have you here, and we're going to learn weiter Baruch Hashem and Likutei Moharan, and it should be a schusser before. You know, we had yesterday a tish in Shachar's house. It was very beautiful. And one of the special things said, I gave a little deep insight to Bishva, and other people spoke as well. One of the main points was just thanking Hashem for the amazing creations of fruits and trees, and you know, everyone had different ways of saying it over. So one of the things Toby said was that within the most bitter parts of the creation, food-wise, chemical-wise, is where the most healing comes from. A lot of medicine, everything's very bitter. You know? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. Likutei Moharan, I think, someone has to send me, if anyone's listening online who's into Breslov, where the Makor is, because I remember seeing it once learning Likutei Moharan. The Rebbe Nachman brings this concept that from the bitterness comes the refuah. And that's an important thing to learn about. Okay, so we're holding in Torah Lamed Vav, and we're actually at the last Sif, I think. If you go a few pages ahead, Sif Ches is going to bring you to the siyum of this Torah. So we're going to actually finish at some point in the next few weeks. We'll finish the Torah Lamed Vav, and then we'll head into Torah Lamed Zayin. And each Torah so far has been tremendous hashgacha pratis, all the way from Aleph, from the beginning. Tremendous divine providence. We've seen that, how it connects into the Torah of the week, the parsha of the week. So it begins Ches, Zos HaTorah. You got it? Zos HaTorah? Sif Zeh. Ches. Oh, you know, you're in the beginning. This is Vav. And then we did Zion. And now Ches begins a little bit here in brackets. Zos HaTorah, he Loshen Rabbeinu. This Torah is going to be from Rabbeinu himself. You know, Parshas YISRAEL, Kabbalas Torah, we're going to hear from Rabbeinu himself. Zochron and Lebrocha. Ameshi Sod Kavanas Kiddush. He's Baba Mocha Mache Im Yirtzah Hashem. We're going to hear about the secret Kavanas of Kiddush. Today I mentioned it in the office learning. You asked me how it was. So one of the things that came out is two big Zechronas, two big memories we have. Is Zeich Ma'aseh Bereishis, when we make Kiddush, the Ramban and Shlach Kodesh bring down the two most important Yisod of Emunah. Hashem created the world, and Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. And we see that those are the two main mentions in Kiddush, the creation and Hashem's relationship with us, taking us out of Mitzrayim, giving us the Torah, which is this week's parsha. Is the point of going out of Mitzrayim, is to get to Parsha Yisrael Bishpotim, the Yam of Shovavim, to get to the last part of these 6 weeks, to receive the Torah and to apply it, to make it, bring it alive, bring it nice of initiative, to bring it into action, and then we'll start to really internalize what it is. So there's the Sod Kavanas Kiddush, those two big remembrances. Also, the Sod of Kavanas Kiddush is, we're going to see from Rebbe Nachman, very much deeper, even deeper than that, is the idea of Sod is Gematria Yain. Today's Tu B'Shvat, so when we made a bracha on wine, we had a little bit of wine last night, and hopefully a little bit today. We tapped into the Sod. Sod is Gematria Yain, and Shabbos night when we make Kiddush as well. So bringing out the Sod, the Panemius, it's the same iron Osius. Od Masasi Kasav Yad Kodesh Al Adonai Moreinu V'Rabbeinu T'chonin L'Bochim Inyan Torah Hazos Mishuni Loshen Kasat. It's a different language from Kasat, from a little bit. V'gai hai kroa v'chetzo mash and imsa kosav ala nisha atiki v'zav. So what does he say? That the word is somewhat differently. Why? Because the part of the paper had been torn off. That was recorded on the remaining part I've copied below. Remember, so this is from Rebbe Nachman. Rebbe Nachman he's the scribe, the sofer, the Talmud of Rebbe Nachman, who's bringing it down, and he's discussing how there was, a slight difference here, that it was the way that it was the paper, the manuscript, where it was belonging to our holy master Rebbe Nachman. It wasn't in the same usual situation. It was a bit ripped or torn, and nevertheless, we're going to be able to bring out what we're going to get here now. Svatnas Paneach the Megalim. That's how it begins the Torah in Sif Ches Lamed Vav. This is now the beginning of it. What is that? What's this famous? These three words. So this is the name of Svatnat Paneach is the name that we know was of Yosef HaTzadik. Remember Yosef HaTzadik when he became the viceroy of Egypt, when he was the Mishnah Lamelech in Mitzrayim, and he had ability to know 70 languages. We've already learned this idea in this Torah, the 70 languages, 70 words of Kiddush. So we know that there's concept of the 70 Amim, and he had a koach that Paro didn't. He knew one more language that Paro didn't know, and that gave him a certain koach that Paro was scared of, and so he made him second in charge. What do you do when you find a powerful person? What did Trump do recently? He finds a powerful person. What does he do?
Gives him power.
Gives him power. Makes him part of the government. Dodge. Elon Musk brings him in. Brings in RFK. Brings in Tulsi Gabbard. Brings in all these other people. Yeah, brings them in, and those powerful people now become part rather than becoming opposition or just ignored. Yeah, so that's the clever move from Paro. Yeah, not comparing Trump to Paro, but just saying people of power is what they do. So he had this ability, Svachnos Paneach, to be the Mishnah Melech and to be the second in command. And the concept is that he was Megala, the sod of the dreams of Paro. That was another power he had. Not only did he know all the languages, but he also, which was a big thing for the empire of the world at that time, to know all the languages, and he knew one more, as we said, but he also knew how to interpret dreams, which in those days was a big deal. People were affected by their dreams much more than we are. Yeah? And you see Paro, there was whole parshas about it in Makades, etc. Yeah, but Kash Shalom Yosef Amar ben Asayin Hagalas Akash Chnia Etz Atayva Klalish Shalif. So we know the real key to Yosef's Tzadik's power was that he overcame the test of niyaf, of illicit relations. He was Shomer Bris, he was a Tzaddik, Yosef was a Tzaddik. So he was able to then become this level with Tamrin Megalin. That's the Lashon when it says in Rebbe Nachman, Megalin, he was the one who was able to reveal. The one who's able to reveal the Kedushim is the Tzaddik, because he overcame the Tovas Niyaf. The meaning, if you want to unlock the keys to creation, it's a lot to do with how you guard your bris. It gives you the keys. It opens up these 70 faces of Torah, the 70 Lashonis languages of the world. You access a panemius realm through guarding the bris. And that gives you power now to reveal Chidushim in Torah. Torah sod acher, kamo shekosev v'yasod acher al tegal. And this secret, this other secret, don't reveal. Because sod, you can't just go around giving over secrets. How's he translate it? That's when the point of the Dalet, wait here, do not reveal the secret of another. So there's a gavul, you can't just go around saying over secrets. That's something I learned for Siddiqim. They're very careful when they have a panemius revelation. They're very careful who they reveal it to. I'll tell you, I had an intimate relationship with a Tzaddik. I mentioned him a few times, Rasimah Zibelberg. And I started to, bit by bit, in a physical way, I mean just to correct that, in a intimate, Torah way, yeah, in communication. And he gave over a lot, because we're in a dangerous generation, and he could take it out of context. You got to always make sure you cover your bases. But the idea, in a true way, he was a tzaddik, so it wasn't even a havamim. But the concept is that he would give over very deep secrets about the tefillahs and souls he was connected with, and very deep aspects that showed how deep and panemi and how much Ahavas Yisrael and how much his avoda was for other people. Like he was serving Hashem, bringing down Tikkunim for different neshamas of the generation, going through hardship. He showed me certain insights to his holy avoda, and at one point it came out that I'd said something to someone. I actually hadn't said it to them. I said it to someone else to help them respect that person more, and that person with a big mouth went and told the other person. So now that person knew that the tzaddik was doing certain things for them, and the tzaddik found out, because I was open with the tzaddik. I told him that it came to that person, and it was hard for him. So the tzaddik, from that point, his door closed to me. Like he wouldn't open up about these kind of things to me. Mm-hmm. So there's a concept: don't share every secret with other people. If tzaddik's giving over secrets, just keep it. And that was the Masorah in Kabbalah, how it was given over door by door. The Siddiqim would hold on to the secrets of the Torah, and they didn't just pour it out everywhere. And when Chassidus came, and this is one of my tainas on the Tzaddik, when Chassidus came, and especially Chabad Chassidus and the Baal Shem Tov and the Baal Tanya, and his whole thought was that we need to share these Torahs, these secrets. His point was that Am Yisrael needs saving right now. It's not like a situation where you can hold on to this secret group of people that are Kabbalim and only them know the secrets. It needed to be Mufasem. Like we see, you can open up any sefer now. You can learn about Matzah Makov. You're not really going to learn it because you're not really going to have the tools to really learn it. But you can read about it at least. You can open up the deepest Torahs of Lubavitch and see about all these high-level Kabbalah terminologies, and same with Likutei Moharan. It's available. Yeah, there's certain revelation that's going on, and the part of Megillas Esther we're preparing for now on Tu B'Shvat, a month before Purim, is Megala the Hester, to reveal within the hidingness of your life, in hidness of politics, in hidden of everything going on in the world, to start to reveal the light of Hashem in those places, to reveal the sodas, the panemius, the kesher, the Hashem. And that's what's going on right now. Historically, even though we're in the biggest Hester Ponim, we're in the biggest Anochi Hester Ponim, the Anochi's there. The Ani Hashem, the Kesavis Yahavis Nafshi, that I gave my soul and gave it to Am Yisrael, is here in this time of most hiddenness. Hashem's revealing to us in the most hiddenness. So he's saying, don't reveal it. So he's bringing from the Zohar that the pasuk of the Nakuda is on what? Yeah, V'sod acher al tigal is in the Daled Shal Echad. This Echad Nakuda he os bris. What's his big Daled and his big Nakuda is to emphasize the Echad. The Reish became a Daled. It becomes Echad. Yeah, the Nakuda Hazos is the os bris. If you're Sadik, then you can reveal. As Nase Acher. And then what happened? It became acher. Why did it become acher? Why did the Dalet become a reish? Dor v'dor, Aleph dor, Dalet became a reish. The Echad became acher. You got it? That little spot of ink from the reish that made it into a Dalet went away, and it became just a reish. And instead of Hashem being Echad and the world being into the sod of our unification, it became acher. There's all these other things. This acher. How come? So he says here, Meshakines Briso Bezona. The reason is because unfortunately it became detached, says that the Konizar, because when he defiles his bris, what with? A prostitute, yeah? Which in Panemius can also be, I don't know exactly which way he's going to go, if it means literally or it means on the way we think or the way we act. It could be both, yeah? The Nikra El Acher, and he calls this El Acher, God, other gods. But someone who is able to control himself in this taiva, as he in his kasha Malchus Shemaim, then he's connected to the Malchus Shemaim, the kingship of heaven, and Nikra Ani, and he gets connected to the level of Ani. There's a whole Torah about this. What this Ani is. This Ani is a whole Torah, and Likutei Moharan elsewhere. Ani, just the word Ani itself has tremendous sodus of what it means to connect to Hashem. Yeah, Ani is Alufa Sha'olam. The Nun is the Nun of Malchus, and Yud is the song of the Asid, Az Yoshe, the Yud of Yoshe. This is the whole Torah is about this in Likutei Moharan. Here he says, he brings the Ani and the concept of becoming, sanctifying yourself, Parshas Kedoshim. And that's a big part, by the way, of Kabbalah Torah. To receive the Torah this week's Parsha, there has to be some level of precious, some level of saying, you know what? I'm not going to be overly sexual. I'm not going to be overly involved in intimate ways with things. It's not the time now. Now's the time to makabel the Torah and to have a mikveh and to purify myself a little bit and to focus on my connection with Hashem and His Torah. This is part of the process of Kabbalah Torah. There was an actual bunch of days, 3 days before the Torah. Yeah, it's called Yemer Gabbalah. 3 special days that we would have to distance ourselves from our wives and focus on preparing for the Kabbalah Torah experience. And that's Kedoshim to you, Ki Kodesh, because I'm holy. Wherever you find a geder, a boundary, over Timsa Geder over Timsa Kedusha. So turn the page. Wherever you find a geder over, you better bound a fence on nakedness, on things to do with over, then you find holiness. So that's why, you see, the real Torah people, they're very careful with, the boundaries, the mechitza behind us. We're not just messing around. We understand there needs to be some sort of boundaries, especially when it comes to Kedusha, with holiness. It says, Weiter, Rebbe Nachman, Aval man de gale arayin, hachi is gale bein inan arayin, inan elokim acherim. So this is from the Zohar, yeah? Let's translate it, because I'm going to need a bit of help with this. He says, but one who, go on.
The one who uncovers nakedness will certainly be exiled amongst the naked,
who are other gods. So that fit everything what we just said. The acher is to do when the bris is not in the right way. So the Hashem acher is connected to this, and he brings from Faiga now, from a Zohar, that he will certainly be exiled among those who are naked, who have other gods. So you see yourself suddenly, you're trying to serve Hashem, you're in a base midrash, you're learning Torah, you have fixed times, and next minute your life switches, You get into certain, God forbid, tithers, and you can end up like dancing around a nightclub with half naked people, and like, what happened from this to this?
And what it says is
and there's people this happens to. I've met people in rehab who,
choosing other guys.
When I worked there, who were from guys, big beards and everything, and they became sex addicts, and they would do all kinds of crazy stuff to get their addiction fed, even if it meant completely against the Torah, and they're completely against their marriage or whatever loyalties and responsibilities they had, because they became obsessed with this Indian, and it made a churban, and they had to go to rehab to heal themselves. So you can see, God forbid, see such a thing. A person from holiness can fall, God forbid, into a very low place. B'shvil mavor bazar, kad chazi Rabbi Shimon Noshe Shapirin, ama al tifinu al alilim, ki niaf hi arais alakim acharem malchus arasha. So this is a deep concept, but basically what a person's happening is he's starting to go aside to false gods. And this is because immorality implies nakedness, other gods, the kingdom of the other side of evil. Now, we see this as very real. This is not something which you have to imagine too much, because it's just something which goes on around and around. Like in every place where there's holiness, there's also the other side, and there's places where these things go on. And on our phones, there's very easily, a person can click a few things and he suddenly, or press on it or swipe or whatever, and then suddenly within a very short moment he's in these place of other gods where the other forces are running the show. And we have to be careful as a Kodesh, a holy nation, and a nation who has a Torah Kedusha, that we have a responsibility to protect ourselves in this way, and this will give us ability to reveal all kinds of deep revelations if we protect it. And you see, example, I'm going to be the Shabbos in this in black. I know himself personally that he's worked very hard on his Kedushat HaBrit, coming from the hood. It's a big accomplishment. I grew up running nightclubs. It's a big accomplishment, in my opinion, what I've done as well in this way to control that area. My son was in the army. He was in a unit, who most of the people, all they talk about, he told me, is about this issue, about women and how they can do this and do that and all the different things they want to do. And constantly, day after day, he said their mouths are filthy. That's been his experience in the army. And it bothers him. He's found slowly a few friends, few people who be mechazik in their own avodah, or they were more principled kind of guys. And that's who he tries to stay with the whole time, protect himself to the point where he can't wait. One of the main things he can't wait to get out of the army is to get out of that energy. Because he just wants to be Tahor and Kodesh.
I was just watching on YouTube on this guy who interviews very successful people. The keys to success, and they say the keys to success is, and it applies here too. Is surrounding yourself by good people who are going to bring you in the in the right way.
Right, and that good chavra is the key.
You'll never succeed. If you surround yourself by losers, you're never going to succeed in life.
And that's what I try to do also with everything I'm doing in terms of moving to a flat. Thank God I feel like I've got a very good chavra I'm with all day. And it's only good energy and good ashbaza. Hopefully it's only good, it's all Kedusha HaTorah. And I really try and with business and everything to also work with good people. Part of my Unity bookings, all the artists I work with, I feel like most of them, in large majority are all very high level role models. And they're the ones I'm working with generally. And it's generally kosher, deals and gigs. I'm always trying to up the level a little bit. Shozeh Segula Levato Hero Nif. And through the Segula, we bevato here and near the Shema YISRAEL, the BORUCH Shem Kavod. This is the beginning of the Torah. By saying the Shema YISRAEL and BORUCH Shem, which we're going to do in a minute, and Marav, this is the powerful Segula, the tool, spiritual tool to get rid of all these thoughts of thinking about these other things. K'mavar ala pasuk b'karev elacha midyonis. And to be close to my brother the Midyanis. What's this mean? That he brought forth a Winyan woman to his brethren. Why? Because we know that was not good. That was nif. So we have to protect ourselves from that. From that tumor by connecting into the koach of Shema, of Achdus of Am Yisrael, and to destroy that taiva's nif through the Shema Yisrael, through listening to Hashem's will, and not getting caught up with the temptations that were going on in history, where there is this force out there. We have to be real with it. This is the main test that goes on with people. The main test that people are tested in and refines us is what? Shehi klolis shivim umas, shehi klolis misod acher el acher. So the 70 nations, they can bring us this test. Especially the most tumor one, which people said when they went to Gaza. They said the amount of nus that they had. There was a TikTok account that one of the guys who was alumni from a program I spoke at. He was a soldier there, and he created it called I forgot the name. Something in Gaza. What's the word? It's a horrible word, like flirty or in Gaza, or some sort of disgusting word. They're busy in Gaza with this kind of stuff. They're grimy in Gaza. They're busy with this is nus, even though they hide behind the mask of Islam. It says 9/10 of nus was given to the Ishmaelim. So that's what we have to realize. It's a real problem over there, and that's part of the reason they're wild people. They're not willing to go in the right way. They've corrupted themselves, and we, Amisrael, have to protect ourselves. One of the things my son had to do when he came out of there after 11 months and being in Lebanon as well, in Syria, he should be gesund, because of MASHA. He now, and he should come out soon, Bez. If we dedicate learning to him, he should come out soon from the army and be able to get his, the next part of his shlab of his life together. Just like the hostages be freed as well, that they should be saved from these tunnels as nus. Because just to end off, the Nakuda was that he went to Makobel, that Rav David Daniel Cohen. But then the Cohen, he says he has some sort of clip or some sort of not impurity that's attached himself to him from being in all those beds of Arabs and all the impurity that goes on, and he has to remove it. And he gave him a certain way through Shemas HaKodesh, names of God, and drinking a certain Kiddush that he gave him.
That's intense.
To remove it. And also obviously learning and davening and all the good things he's trying to do. So he picked it up a little bit, and now he's getting back into the Sod Hashem of the Yireh, of fearing Hashem and Hashem Echad, to remove this Hashem Acher, these other gods. So one of the things he goes on to say, we'll just end off with this, because Soak Lelakim Kamoshikosav came Nafshi Tawag Alecha. He's screaming out to Hashem. My soul is screaming out to you. Soak Shivim Kalin. Lord Pak, we have to scream out 70 screams to get rid of these 70 forms of other gods, of other ways of, and it all goes back to niyuf, that to impurity. We have to scream it out of us, our system, to be saved from it. And then we open up these 70 levels of Torah. And tomorrow and then Hashem will reveal the hidden. Malid nafshin chadatin, and it'll give us new souls. It will renew us with new spirit, new energy, new souls of Amisol. Ki molid Torah. Torah he klolis nafashis Yisrael, because Torah is included in the souls of Yisrael. We're standing in front of Har Sinai in this week's parsha. Next week there was 600,000 souls. Yeshishim Ibis of the Torah, connected to the Torah, and we're standing in front of Hashem, and we have a power to reveal so much awe to the 70 nations of the world, all of Goyim. So make the iron of the ore of skin of Adam into an aleph, into light. Reveal that humanity's shorish is light, that it comes from spirituality, that its root is soul. And therefore that it has to have loyalty and commitment and responsibility and good morality. And that's part of our Amisrael's job, to reveal that. And Bez Hashem, we should result to a beautiful Shabbos. We have in mind we make Kiddush this week, a little bit more Kavanah on the 70 words to fix up the Brit, to bring, remember Hashem created the world and gave us the Torah, and gave us ability to serve Him and do it with Simcha and joy. And Bez Hashem result to bring a lot of awe to the world, a lot of light. And we'll hear only good news. Bakorov, Shafua, and Yeshua.